All right, so it's 9:01. I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Jocelyn Mollering. I am the 2018 Civic Leadership Certification Program Manager for JCI USA, and I am joined this evening by our 2019 CLC Program Manager, Kaylee Wilkie. My home state is Michigan, and Kaylee is from Minnesota. So welcome everybody thank you for joining us, and welcome. You can see here on the screen our email address that you can reach us at if you have questions. It's really easy, clc@jciusa.org. Okay, let's see if I can advance the screen. Okay, good. So here's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk briefly about what the Civic Leadership Certification Program is, why your local organization or state should participate, how the process works, and any new changes we have this year. Okay, so the CLC program is not an award that you apply for. It's actually a certification program. It's a program that serves as a guide for running a healthy, thriving local or state organization. Your goal is to earn 100% efficiency if possible. And in order to do that, your local or state organization needs to complete and submit all the tasks and by their designated due dates. We do recognize local and state organizations that earn 90% efficiency or higher at our year-end national convention. So we'll be recognizing our 2018 CLC efficiency or 90% and higher efficiency chapters and states in Indianapolis in April this year. Okay, so why participate? Well, really what the CLC program does is it provides a roadmap for you to find success in your chapter or in your state. It helps you set goals and track your progress throughout the year. One of the nice things I like about CLC is that it gives you ideas or new ways to consider growing your organization. So maybe some ideas that you have, give you some new ideas for ways to improve the health and success of your chapter. Also allows you to be certified by JCI USA, which you can promote externally if you would like. Okay, so the way it works is local organization and state presidents have access to update the CLC for their chapter or state. And the way that you update that is going into jcmember.com, logging in, and I will show you in a little bit what this looks like, but you'll be able to access the CLC leadership task list for your local or state organization right in JCMember. In the past, there was a form that was submitted via email, and this is no longer the way that we accept the submissions. So everything is done in JCMember, which is great. As you complete the task, you're either going to check it off or enter some information that you've done it. And some of the tasks require some substantiation to be uploaded into JCMember as well. All right, go forward, please. All right, so some of the tasks that are in the JCMember list for CLC are based on the honor system. So they're basically a yes or no checkbox. You completed it, yes or not. Some of them require you to type in some kind of information like a date or a number or someone's name or a program that you participated in. And some of them require a document of some kind, like a chapter plan of action that you will need to upload into JCMember. The main due dates for the CLC program are February 28th, April 30th, July 31st, October 31st, and February 28th of next year. Those basically coincide with the ends of each quarter, and then year end is a little bit later to allow you time to complete all of your year-end documentation. Okay, so speaking of due dates, why are they important? Well, we choose these dates intentionally. They're set for key times of the year for particular tasks to be completed Certain tasks should be completed earlier in the year and others throughout the year. So the dates that we pick are intentional. The other reason is, everybody has the same deadlines for CLC. That makes it a fair process that everybody can participate in. And completing tasks by their deadline, it's a professional skill worth practicing. If you can't meet the due date for a task, but you really still want to submit it and something comes up, you can reach out to us at clc@jciusa.org to ask about requesting an extension. So as you submit tasks, the CLC program manager or your state president can approve or deny those tasks. And the person that submitted them will get an email with that information. If there's any tasks that aren't approved for any reason, there'll be a little message included that states why the task wasn't approved, which allows you to get feedback and then also ask more questions. So if you have any extenuating circumstances or deadline extensions, questions, technical issues like you're having a hard time uploading a document, please email us to ask as soon as you can so that we can help you get that fixed. All right, so what's new in 2019? So I'm actually going to turn over the middle portion of our broadcast today to our 2019 PM, who is going to share with you a little bit about what's new in 2019. Kaylee?
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. So we created a survey specifically around the CLC program that is currently on jcmember.com. And the reason why we created a survey is because we want to increase participation in the program. So far, I have only 10 people who have done the survey. It literally only takes like 2 to 3 minutes tops. So please, please, please fill that out. It'll give us plenty of feedback to improve the program, to make it more user-friendly, to hopefully increase participation in your local chapters and in your states. It really does encourage feedback on what you'd like to see different, what you do like to see already on the program, any and everything. We are just looking for a lot of just improvement in the program. So JCI supports it, so we want to continue to move this forward. We have moved several of the due dates. The ones that were due on January 31st from previous years, we extended out to the end of February, and we did that so we had time for people to take the survey, and that we also had time on our end to update the program, so you didn't have to turn in some things and then, oh yeah, we switched up a whole bunch of stuff on you. So we did extend those deadlines. And then we also extended the IRS Form 990 due date. We moved it from the 31st of May to the 31st of July. And the reason why we did that is because I know a lot of bigger chapters or states get extensions on filing. And we just want to make sure that if you do file that extension, that you still have a little bit more time to get that done and then submitted to us. Any other updates? They will be coming after we close the survey. I have the deadline set at February 18th. So if you could please get it done before then, and then we will analyze the results and update the program to what you guys said you wanted to see. So if you have any questions, please put them in to the system so we can answer them for you. Or you can always email us as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Kaylee. That was great. So on your screen, you can see both the permanent link for the survey on SurveyMonkey, or if you know how to use QR codes, you can snap that right now and grab that and go there yourself. I'll also be showing you a couple of mini updates as we go through here. So what I'd like to do now, if I can get my screen to advance, there we go, is show you some screenshots of what it actually looks like in jcmember.com which will allow me to show you how to update it and also tell you a little bit about the specific tasks. So if you have the ability to update your CLC as a chapter or as a state, you will see this box in your JC member when you log in. If you don't see this box, then you need to contact someone in your organization, your state organization or national organization to ask for that if you are supposed to be doing that. So I actually have a screenshot here from my home chapter, Rochester area. And the reason I showed you this one, I also really like that you can see how much you've completed in your not your passport, in your CLC, and also how much of it has been approved. So you can track what's been submitted and how you're doing right there in your percentages without even opening up the CLC. So if you click on the click here to submit items for the 2019 year, it will take you into your task list. What's cool is that you can see in here when it was submitted, who submitted it, and then once it gets approved, it will change to like a green font and it will say when it was approved and who approved it. If it says approved by Civic Leadership Certification, that was your program manager. And if it has your state president's name, that is because state presidents also have the ability to approve CLC tasks. All right, so when you view the task list, you won't necessarily see all these details that are expanded here right now. I expanded them so that you could see the details in the screenshot. But if you don't see all this information, just click details and you get a little bit more information. So as Kaylee mentioned, we are going to have all of these January due dates will be end of February for you. So if you haven't gotten those in yet, don't sweat it. You still have time. So things that you need to do by the end of February include updating your membership database, conducting a training or orientation for your board of directors, and attending appropriate officer training, and submitting your chapter plan of action. So this is for local chapters, local organizations. I'm going to show you the state CLC tasks in just a moment. By the end of the first quarter, you are going to then look at, review and revise your constitution, bylaws, and policies. If you don't change anything in your constitution, bylaws, and policies, then just upload the ones that you most recently reviewed. It's okay if they don't get changed. Update and renew your liability insurance and your articles of incorporation with your Secretary of State. Those are all really important files to have in order to be a functioning chapter, and those should be done in the first part of the year. One other one by April 30th is doing your first quarter chapter plan review. So you get a full month after the first quarter ends to review your chapter plan and submit your updates. As we mentioned, the IRS 990 is going to be end of July, so you don't need to worry about the May 15th date for that one. We'll update that. Other things by the end of July include a meeting with a government official. You just need to tell us who you met with and what you did, and a new member orientation, and a second quarter chapter plan review and submission. So as you're looking over on the right, I like this screen because you can see all three types of task submissions. The box that says choose file, that is specifically asking you to upload a document. The box that's a big empty text box is a place for you to type information. So the government official meeting, you would just type in so-and-so met with this person and this is what they talked about. It doesn't have to be really long. And then the ones on the bottom that just say yes, no, those are tasks that we did. We check yes when we complete them. The only thing that's due at the end of October is your third quarter chapter plan review. And then there's a lot of stuff that's due at year end. One of the things I want to mention to you about year end tasks, some of them are not intended to be submitted to the nationals until the end of the year. So for example, conducting monthly membership events and meetings like your GMMs or a board meeting, don't say that you did them now because it's February. So those are intended for you to submit at the end of the year, and December, January, to say, yes, we actually did these things, not that we're planning on doing them. So don't expect those to be approved if you submit them now because they're year-end tasks. However, things like conduct a second new member orientation, you might actually do that before the end of December. So there are certain year-end tasks that are okay to submit before the year end. Other things by year end include if you could do a active citizen framework project, you can submit it here for, submit the PMG here for a CLC task. Here's another one that you should wait until the end of the year to submit for, providing written communication to the members at least monthly. And also this one, establishing and maintaining a chapter website or social media account. Please don't submit that until the end of the year when you've actually maintained your chapter website all year. Other year-end tasks, holding a passport to leadership training and having someone update their passport. So just need to list when you held that. That can be any time during the year. And then connecting to other chapters with state and national leaders. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. You can do it through a visitation. Maybe you had a phone call, maybe did a Google Hangout. So just indicate how that communication was made. Have someone attend a JCI training. We are going to update those with our updated information. Have someone attend a state, district, or regional event. Conducting one project in each area of opportunity. Participate in the JCI and USJC programs. And participate in competitions. Have 2 members participate in competitions. And then this page is a little confusing, so I'm going to try to clarify it. We will be fixing this so it's not so confusing. There will be one task here that says have at least 1 member participate in a JCI USA or JCI event. And then that would include things like Leadership Training University, the spring meeting, the fall meeting, the National Summit, World Congress. And that's going to be its own task, and that's not going to be an or. You'll notice the next task has something to do with the or part. So the next task is have participation from 3 members during JCI USA webinars. So we're going to update that one a little bit because we're also doing podcasts this year. And so we're going to have that be 3 webinars or podcasts during the year, anytime during the year, not necessarily per quarter, by 3 members. So we'll clarify that for you. And then if you achieve year-to-date growth, please indicate that by putting your January 1 base and your December 31st base as an indication that you achieved growth. And then your 4th quarter chapter plan review and submission. There's also a place to submit your annual report. That gives a little bit more detail, has a letter from the president, includes your chapter plan. And some of you may have a lot of this in your chapter plan. So just pull out what you need for your annual report. All right, so that's it for the local chapters. I'm going to quickly show you the states. It's pretty similar, but it's obviously geared more towards what the state needs to be doing. Updating their membership database and doing the training and orientation from the board of directors. Those will be due at the end of February. Conducting a local officer training. So that would be the training that the local chapters are attending for their CLC. The states are conducting it. The state plan of action should be submitted by the end of February. And then similar types of things for April 30th for the state. Insurance, articles of incorporation, constitution, bylaws, and policies. Similar type of things. First quarter state plan review also end of April. So you can see a lot of these are really similar. There's just fewer of them. Rather than submitting an active citizen framework project, we're asking the states to promote the active citizen framework. Again, there are a few year-end things that you should not click until December, holding monthly board meetings, communicating to members, establishing and maintaining a website. Those are year-end tasks. We're also asking that you hold at least 2 state meetings, conventions, conferences, whatever you call them, and list the dates. Okay, other things for the state: promoting and recognizing member participation in Passport to Civic Leadership, that's the degrees program. Offering at least 1 official JCI training, whatever they may be. Promoting the JCI USA national programs to chapters. Holding competitions. So we're asking the chapters to participate in competitions, and we're asking the states to offer those competitions. And then, let's see, show member participation of at least 1 member in our national events. So if you have someone that is not the state president, we're going to add that, who goes to our national events, we can indicate that here. Promoting our JCI USA webinars, and we'll be adding and podcasts to the members. And then if you achieve year-to-date growth, go ahead and list your January 1 and December 31st numbers in there. And you have a place for your 4th quarter state plan review and your annual report. All right, that's a lot of information, but I wanted you to actually see what those tasks were. So I'm now going to ask if anybody has any questions based on all of this information that you've just seen from us. So I'm going to give you a minute here to add any questions that you might have. Don't be shy. Again, it was asked earlier, but I will repeat it in case you jumped on a little bit late. We will be sharing the recording of this webinar. It should be on the JCI USA YouTube channel as soon as that gets uploaded. Does anybody else have questions? It's okay if you don't have questions. If you do, oh, just kidding, there's one. Is there somewhere you can print a list of these tasks? There is. So Kaylee and I are actually working on updating the program guide that lives in the JCI USA library, the online library, the document library. And that will have a list of all of the tasks in there that you can print out. They're by standard and not by date, but it's really easy to rearrange them if you would like to by date. And I also might throw in a list by date as well in there. And you can also have whoever has access to the CLC task list, either the local president or the state president, can print off, just write off a JC member. You can print that out as well. I hope that helps answer that question. Okay, when will I update the tasks? As soon as humanly possible. Basically, we just have to submit any of the changes that we'd like to make to the program and that Kaylee wants to make to the program to nationals, to the back end, and they just will update those tasks. So in the next week, hopefully. All right, do I know if there will be a JC member app? There used to be actually an app. It was pretty terrible and it wasn't super useful. But the nice thing is the mobile version of JC member is very mobile friendly. So if you just go to your browser on your smartphone and go to jcmember.com, it functions really well and you can actually use it there. So they don't have a separate app anymore. Okay, for webinar participation, does it have to be 3 members in one session or 3 members in multiple sessions? Yeah, we're still working on how to word that so that it's clear, because I realize that it's really difficult to figure that out as well. It's supposed to be 3 members overall total, like for the year. So like you could have Joe Bob go to one podcast in the spring, and then somebody else does one in the summer, and then somebody else does one in the fall. So 3 members total. So I'm hoping that I can clarify that. We want to have different people attending podcasts and webinars, not the same person, but it doesn't have to be 3 people at every one. So hope that makes sense. I'll try to figure out a way to word that better so that it's clear. All right, thanks for those great questions. Anybody else have any other questions? I think I saw all of them. Let me see here. Oh, LOL. Thanks, Beth. I'm glad you think it's funny. You guys crack me up. All right. Um, as you can see on your screen, you can contact Kaylee with questions about 2019. Both of us are available to be reached at clc@jciusa.org. We really encourage you to take this information back to your local chapters and encourage them to participate in this program. A lot of this is chapters are already doing, and it's a really great way to get them engaged, motivated, and get them a national certification for all the hard work they're putting in to their chapters and states. Thanks, Amanda. All right, you guys have a great night, and we will see you later. Bye.